Welcome class 6. Welcome back to your online classes. This is the last chapter of your midterm syllabus, the cell. Now the cell is the structural and functional unit of life. Structural, as you know, in your family there are many structures over there, like your father, mother, grandmothers, sister, brother. So the family is composed of these family members, and each of them has a specific role to play in the family. Like the father earns and supports financially the family, while the mother takes care of the family. The sister helps you do your, if she is elder, she helps you do your various activities. Grandmother makes you understand about the family, loves, cares, and this way the family is a complete unit. Same way the cell is the structural and functional unit of life. It forms the structure of our whole body. Every part of our body is made up of cells, and every cell has a specific function. Cells turn into tissues, carrying out specific functions, like there is meristematic tissue in plants which help the plant to grow. We have muscular tissues in our body which help us to move our limbs, and tissues forms organ, like organ heart made up of various tissues, leaves made up of various tissues, and finally organs make an organ system. In plants there are two organ systems, shoot system and root system. In animals there are various organ systems like digestive system, excretory system, respiratory system, and so on. And these organ systems finally make an organism. So cell is the smallest part of an organism. That is why it is called the unit of. There are a wide variety of animals and plants, starting from the largest animals like whale and animal to smallest organisms like bacteria and viruses. How are such big and small animals made up of? They are made up of cells. Cells are like the bricks that we use to make and construct our houses or buildings. So cells are the building blocks of life or our body. They are the smallest parts. Their proper definition is cells are the basic unit of structure and function in all living beings. Cells are very tiny in shape and size, so that some of the cells can be observed with naked eye, but most of the cells cannot be. We need special instruments to observe their structure, shape, and size. These instruments are called as microscopes. Now, cells were first discovered by Robert Hooke. He placed a thin slice of cork obtained from the oak tree and studied it under a compound microscope. And he saw small compartment-like rooms in it, which he named cells after the monks' monasteries. Later on, it was Antony von Leeuwenhoek who studied cells in living beings for the first time, in plant cells, in bacteria, in red blood cells, and so on. And the name cell was given by Robert Hooke in 1665. Now, of course, we have electron microscopes through which we can study even the internal structure of a cell, what it is composed of, the various small structures inside the cells called as organelles in detail. Now, cell is the basic unit of life, and all living organisms are made up of cells, was put forward as a cell theory by Theodore Schwann, Matthias Sheldon, and Rudolf Virchow, which states that all living things are made up of cells. That's the first concept of this theory. Second is, a cell is the basic structural and functional unit of all living beings. And third, all cells come from pre-existing cells. Means new cells are formed from the old cells by cell division. Earlier, people used to believe that all living things grow from dust, sand, air, and so on. But after the discovery of microscope, scientists researched and discovered that all living beings are made up of cells. Now, cells can be of varied number, shape, and cells have different shapes and sizes and number. Now, based on the number of cells are of two broad unicellular and multicellular. Unicellular, as the word means, uni means single and cellular means cell. Single-celled organisms just have a single cell in their body. Most of the microscopic plants and most of the unicellular plants and animals are microscopic, like bacteria, chlamydomonas, yeast, amoeba, paramecium. Multicellular organisms are more in number. They are in billions. They have many cells in their body. Multi means many and cellular means celled. Like the people tree, the mango tree. We as human beings are all multicellular organisms. Here cells are divided into various groups to carry out specific functions. Such group of cells performing a specific function is called a tissue. So cells form tissues and tissues form organs, organs form organ systems, and finally we have an organism like man or mango tree. Now cells come in different shapes. They are having shapes like circular, rectangular, oval, elongated, tubular, thread-like, depending upon their functions and location. Based on organisms, there are two kinds of cells, plant cells and animal cells. Plant cells are found in a plant's body like stomata, in the leaves, then meristematic cells in roots and shoots. We have animal cells like white blood cells, red blood cells, nerve cells. They have varied shapes and sizes. Nerve cells are very long, almost about 1 meter in length. Red blood cells are very tiny in our body. The size of the cells are measured in microns. 1 micron is equal to about 1,000 of a millimeter. 1,000 of a millimeter. So smallest cells may be as small as 0.1 to 0.15 microns, and largest cells may be as long as 1 meter. Ostrich eggs are the biggest cells, the largest 15 to 20 centimeter in length. Then there is a unicellular algae, Acetobularia, which is about 10 centimeter long. So big organisms do not have bigger cells, but they have more number of cells. Bacteria are spherical or cuboidal in shape. Red blood cells are circular and flat. Chlamydomonas and algae is oval in shape. Muscles cells are cylindrical. Cells in plants are mostly rectangular in shape. Some cells are amoeboid, that is not having any fixed shape, like our white blood cells and the unicellular organism amoeba. The unicellular paramecium is slipper shaped. Nerve cells are thread like. So we can see that there is a diversity of shell shapes and sizes in the living world. Then our human body is made up of more than 75 billion cells, and our body has more than this number of bacteria living on the surface or inside our systems. The study of cells is called as cytology, and a scientist who studies cells is called a cytologist, while a person who uses microscope to study microscopic organisms is called a microbiologist, like Louis Pasteur. So this is about the types of cells and the cell theory. Thank you.